Here we're asked which system of equations has the same solution as the system below. So when you're taking the state test, you can solve the system of equations by just using the graphing calculator that you have access to. A question like this is trying to see if you know how to solve it by hand using the elimination method. Remember, the elimination method is when you can add the two equations together and one of the variables is eliminated. And you can modify either of the equations or both of them so that that can happen by multiplying the entire equation by the same number. So you have to multiply the right side of the equation by a number and the left side of the equation by the same number. So for this question, what you're going to do is you're going to compare this initial equation to, like, let's look at this first choice and see how it changed. If we look at the first equation, it stayed the same, so that's good. Let's look at the second equation. It changed. It was 3x, now it's 6x. So that looks like we are multiplying by 2 to get this other equation. Y is now 2y. Good. 4 is now, it's still 4. So we multiplied the left side by 2, but we didn't multiply the right side by 2. If this was an 8, we'd be good, but it's not. So the answer is not A, or not this first choice. Now let's look at the next one. So let's look at the one here to the right. If we look at this, we see that the second equation stayed the same, but the first equation has changed. It was a 2x, and now it's just an x. So 2x became an x, or a 1x. It looks like we divided by 2. So we're dividing by 2, or multiplying by 1/2. 2y became 1y. Good. 16, it's still 16. Again, if we divided this by 2 and made it an 8, we'd be good, but we didn't. So this is not the answer either. Now let's look at the next one. So the first equation, again, stayed the same. The second equation has changed. How did it change? Well, 3x became 6x, so they multiplied by 2 again. Good. Y became 2y. 4 became 8. We multiplied by 2 in each of those cases. So this is the same equation. We just multiplied the whole thing by 2. So let's just take a quick look at how you would solve this equation. This is our answer. Let's see how you would solve this, though, to take it one step further. So once you have it like this, notice that if we just add these two equations together, I now have 8x's, but the y's, 2y minus 2y, cancels out. And then over here, I have 24. So now I can just solve by dividing by 8, and I see that x is 3. So once you know what x is, you can now substitute it into either one of those initial equations and solve for y. So that's how you would solve using the elimination method, but for this question, they're just simply asking which equation is the same. It's just multiplied by the same number on both sides.